Hello everyone, welcome back to Hannah from Hannah's Decodes. I'm Hannah, and today I thought I'd share with you something I experienced at the meditation group I go to, and it was quite interesting. It was I think I've mentioned before about at the end of meditations we give each other a gift, and that's an intuitive gift that comes to you, something that pops into your mind for a particular person. But actually before we did this, we did some drumming work, and my poor old drum, which is kind of in the back of the room here, doesn't get a huge amount of use, and I keep thinking I would like to use it more. So it was lovely to bring it out. We all brought our drums and did some drumming kind of medicine really, and healing, which was really lovely. And a friend had a little drum that she'd made recently at a workshop, and she used it as a kind of clearing tool and did a little kind of drumming up and down all the people that were there, their bodies. And when she got to an area sort of at my kind of mid to lower back, she said she felt kind of like crying, but there was some kind of blockage there. And I felt nauseous when she was drumming there. I kind of felt a little bit unwell. So we discussed that, and she mentioned at the end of, went on to do more meditations, and at the end of the meditation, she mentioned that as part of her gift to me, that I was blocking some kind of new birthing or some kind of new me that needed to be birthed. And I thought about that area of my back, which is, I've got kind of problems with my lower back. And we also talked about German New Medicine, which is a guy who was German, and I can't remember his name, but he worked out, he was a doctor, and he studied all his patients and worked out every kind of ailment and illness related to a particular kind of emotional trauma. And I know that, you know, my back has had kind of physical traumas from car accident and falling out of a house while renovating, and a few other bits, and doing too much, you know, heavy lifting and all these other kind of things. But I also felt like, yeah, there's definitely a blockage there, and there's a numbness, physical numbness there a lot of the time. And so I did a lot of work on that and thought about particular things, trauma that had happened there. And my friend said she felt I was kind of inhibiting a part of myself, of who I'm meant to be. And then and she said something along the lines, you know, we went on to talk about how as children you learn to have secrets. And I gave an example when I was in primary school, and I was quite dyslexic, so my teacher, and I must have been about 8 or 9, she was reading this, we had to write a story, a creative writing kind of exercise. And I wrote, which I thought was a really cool, interesting story, about, I think it might have been a young girl or teenager, and she had particular experiences. And then at the end, I described that her spirit, so this girl had died in some kind of accident, and she was telling the story as a spirit. And I don't think I used the word spirit. I didn't really know that then, but I said, this girl is dead, but remembering her story. And I can remember my teacher being really shocked and said, you can't do that. You can't write about someone dead, writing about their thing. And I think she was quite a Christian and quite religious, and I sensed it really freaked her out. And I just thought I was being really creative and had a sense about some kind of spiritual reality for me that might be a possibility. And anyway, I sensed, this is a teacher figure, someone who you're learning from, and she said, no, you can't do that. And you can't tell a story from a dead person's perspective or from a spirit and all that kind of stuff. And so that was, I thought, okay, I can't do that. That's that kind of little bit of a knowing or an intuitive something or other. I learned from there, I have to keep that a little bit secret. That's a secret thing, or, you know, I can't express that or talk about that or share that. So it's interesting, you know, the life path. And I had my parents were atheists, and anything that was kind of spiritual, they would kind of sneer at and frown at and poo-poo, and they were kind of almost staunch atheists and thought that anyone who was religious or spiritual was probably stupid to believe in invisible things that can't be seen, and or by them in particular. So I learned quite quickly to suppress a part of me, I think. And it was interesting because my friend was saying, you know, this kind of new me that wants to come out, but there's still hesitancy and stuff. And I really think what I'm doing now with these videos, sort of sharing my stories, is to perhaps help or assist other people to feel comfortable if they're experiencing something similar with spirituality or things that aren't talked about day to day. So that's why I love my meditation group, because we can just talk about all this kind of stuff and go in depth, and we talk about all the instruments. We had the different tones of the drums and how we felt with the different tones of the drums and different frequencies of the tuning forks and how they affected us and particular things and what came up. And so it can just go, we can be there for hours just chatting about all the different things that popped up while we were meditating and or receiving tuning fork kind of medicine or drumming medicine. So I just thought I would talk about kind of the power of secrets and how they can be big blockages when we keep sort of suppressing, you know, stuff that's intuitive and feelings. And so I've spent my whole life with sort of some of the people that are closest to me not saying what's going on in my spiritual world, because I know it will freak people out. And I think I talked about when I saw my father was dying, and I saw light leaving his body the night before he died, and it was fascinating and kind of, I couldn't believe it and all that kind of stuff. And I tried to talk about what I'd seen with my stepmother, and I saw that same kind of barrier come up that happened with my teacher as a child, talking about the story of a spirit relaying their life story from a different kind of dimension. I could see that same block, that kind of like, you can't, you know, I don't want to go there. So it's a very compounding experience where, yeah, you just kind of, you know, tiptoe around lots of people that you know just won't resonate. I'm not saying it has to, but it'd be nice to speak a little more freely about these kind of things with some of the people that are very close to you. But that's okay. Things change, and you know, we're all very different. But I just think that's why I'm here, having a yak, telling you all my stories, and maybe it'll make some of your experiences, you may get a little bit more insight to them just listening to some of the things I've experienced. I think that's it. I wrote a few notes down. Sound healing is yep, I think that's it. So I just thought I would share, you know, the power of a secret can be a big block, that, you know, secrets compound and similar things. It's like, yes, you get those little same kind of lessons coming up over and over again, and each time it's like, don't say that, then it's gonna freak people out. Zip up. So anyway, so I'm trying to be a little more open and kind of reveal another part of me. So that's it. I hope that might be beneficial to some of you, and thank you, and see you all next time. Bye.